Good morning or good afternoon. No, good morning, everybody. So, my name is Rion Willemse, and I have a company called Chris Willemse Painters. Now, what I have been doing is I have been. Oh, that looks amazing. I don't have to look at the camera or there. Look at those rings. First ring light I've ever used. But anyway, sorry. I have a company, and what we've been doing is we've basically, well, I have been putting on reels and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube shorts and things like that of projects that we've been doing and befores and afters and during and all that. However, a lot now, what has been happening is that I have been requested to and asked to a lot to actually speak about problems, fixes, how we get there, and so on and so forth. So I'm still going to be doing the YouTube shorts and the reels and the Instagram reels and things like that because it's actually, oops, sorry, get the stand over there. It's nice to see during the process and on-site process. But what we'll do is once, twice a week, we're gonna do longer, more engaging videos. People have also said that they want to have engaging videos that explain things in depth. So what we'll do is we're going to do longer engaging videos, and we're actually I'm going to leave it mainly up to the subscribers and the followers and everything to comment on the video, comment on this video, and tell me about problems that you're wanting advice on, you're wanting knowledge on, about wanting how to fix things in the construction trade, in waterproofing, roofing, you name it. I don't profess to know absolutely everything about the trade. I myself have been doing this year 21 years. I'm in South Africa, Cape Town, and I've taken over from my father who was doing this for 40 years. So I worked with him for 10 years prior to him doing his semi-retirement. He still likes to come in and have a look, which I absolutely love. But I gained his knowledge as well. So one can technically say a combined knowledge of almost 60 years, even 60 years. And, even though I always say that every day I learn something new, and I love this trade. Yes, it has its ups, it has its downs. Clients can be difficult sometimes, and rightfully so. They pay a vast amount of money to have their places renovated, problems fixed. So I understand that, but my excitement comes to establishing where the problem is coming from. Why is it happening? I am not your everyday tradesman, let's call it, your artisan who has a book from the supplier, and the supplier says, if this is if this is the problem, do this. That's not who I am. I want to discover as to why it is happening, where it's coming from, and that is why I love the trade. The best part about this trade is that if you're dealing with a problem, a lot of the time it's not the same problem as the other client. Listen, it comes from the same place. Paint peeling because of water, for example, but the best part is where is the water coming from? Is it rising dampness? Is it coming from the top of a cavity wall? Is the roof leaking? Is it on the inside? Is there an overflow pipe that actually wasn't executed properly and leaking in the middle of the wall? It's just amazing how many things you can do in this trade. It's really, really lovely. So like I said, I would love everybody in the comments section to ask your questions. Let's not be silly. Let's not be stupid about this. Let's not be nasty. As I've always said, a lot of the time in my videos, there are so many ways to fix, to repair, to do something, to have a solution. The solutions that I offer is the solutions that I have been using, that my father has been using 40 years prior to my 20 years. It is a solution that works for us, that we guaranteed. But that's not to say it is the only solution. Always remember that. I see a lot of the times people getting nasty on the comments. Not mine. Thank you for not doing that. Not mine, but on other people's posts. Someone says, listen, we'll put a membrane on there. Yeah, membranes, it's not to be really used. I don't also trust a membrane. A membrane should never be used when waterproofing it. It's a temporary fix, but it is a solution from that person's point of view. And it works. It does, let's be honest. The length of time it works for is a different story. But yes. So if I'm going to be giving solutions, understand that that is not the only route. And if it isn't the only route, and you want to discuss it, amazing. The discussion is the best thing. I love it. It's not to have an argument, it's to engage, to discuss why, where, how, and it's going to be amazing. I'm actually so excited. I truly am excited to get this off. I'm not doing it for the views. I'm not doing it for the subscribers. I'm not doing it for the followers. I'm doing it because I love imparting on knowledge, and I can talk and talk for absolute ever about my trade. As I said, whether it be construction, whether it be waterproofing, I love my trade. I am an artisan at heart, and I love what I do. I truly do. I am very much into my damp proofing and advanced damp proof, and it's obviously not the only things we do, but that is my favorite subject when it comes to my trade. But yeah, I mean, we're going to follow on. I just wanted to do the introduction as to what we are going to be doing. Probably from next week onwards. I already have some questions that let's say followers and people who have subscribed to the YouTube channels and everything that have asked. They've sent me messages saying, it's actually some of those followers who have said we should be doing this. We should be making more engaging videos and longer videos, not these little shorts and reels that we can discuss these things and have an open discussion. Some also said we must maybe do a live answering question, or question and answer. But we'll get to that. Baby steps. For the time being, all I would like everybody to do is in the comment section maybe ask relevant questions that you are really wanting to know the answer to. If you know the answer to your own question, I find it pretty pointless to ask the question. But if you want an elaboration as to why, by all means, let me know. If I can answer it, I will. I've always said if I cannot answer a question, I'll come back to you and I will let you know. Luckily enough, in the trade, it's not that much cutthroat as in everybody who is my opposition is my enemy. As opposition, we actually talk amongst ourselves quite regularly. Very often, I'll have my own opposition and vice versa. Ask questions, listen, I've hit the snag, I've hit this problem. What can I do to fix it? And we'll help each other out. It's amazing. It truly is. Yes, sometimes opposition doesn't want to do that, and sometimes opposition does badmouth you, but that's another story for another time. But let's kick this off. Guys, ask questions in the comments section. I'm not necessarily going to get to every single one of them. Send me private messages if you will. I'm quite happy to write them down. I've already got some questions written down on a list that we will start with from next week. But add to it, please. Let's get going. Let's help everybody out. Let's help each other out. And like I said, let's have a general conversation. If you think honestly you know a way better than the way that I'm doing it, let's have an open conversation about it. As I said, not the only way to do it. I just offer solutions that I guarantee that I've been doing over the past 20 years and my father has been doing over the past 40 years. It's solutions that have worked for us. But I'm sure there are many other solutions, maybe even better. Who knows? As I said, let's start this conversation and let's get going. But guys, thank you. It's my first video, or a long video, and again, what an amazing ring light. I love that. And then tell me whether one should look at the camera or at the phone. I don't know if it's engaging rather to look up. Yeah, give me your thoughts. Enjoy, guys.